Welcome all. Today's top breaking news with Gitanjali from Bayan Times. Power employee JAC to submit its remarks. The Andhra Pradesh Power Generation Corporation APGEN CO has asked the Joint Action Committee JAC of state electricity employees to submit its remarks on the report of the expert committee constituted to make the Rayalaseema Thermal Power Plant RTTP financially viable. The Employee Joint Action Committee is expected to submit its report next week. The state government in January had constituted a four-member committee to examine various problems faced by the thermal power plant and recommend steps to make it economically viable. The committee held discussions and submitted its report suggesting two options as a way forward: to reduce the production cost by rationalizing staff and coal supply, or to incorporate a joint venture with the National Thermal Power Corporation Limited (NTPC). Srikakulam collector acknowledges COVID-19 community spread in the district. Srikakulam collector J. Nivas on Saturday admitted that community spread of the coronavirus had begun in the district. Speaking to newsmen here, he noted that the infections reported from Mandasa and Burja were due to the community spread, as the patients neither had any travel history nor were primary contacts of previously identified infectees. Srikakulam district has so far reported 417 COVID-19 cases, of which 126 have been discharged. The next 2 months are very crucial to contain the community spread of the coronavirus in the district. A majority of people can be seen wandering and without face mask, he added. Not only will they be slapped with fines, but people would be sent to quarantine centers if they do not wear masks while in public, he said, and directed businesses not to entertain the violators. Over 80% of the patients in the district did not show any symptom of COVID-19, and private hospitals were directed to refer suspected cases to COVID hospitals immediately. Amid COVID-19 crisis, Andhra CM releases Rs 194 crore to weavers 6 months in advance, extending a helping hand to handloom weavers in distress due to the coronavirus crisis and lockdown in Andhra Pradesh. Chief Minister Y.S. Jagannath Reddy on Saturday released the promised annual aid of Rs 24,000 for each weaver's family 6 months ahead of schedule. A total of Rs 194.46 crores was released to 81,024 weavers owning their own looms. Addressing the handloom weavers representatives in the district through a video conference, the Chief Minister said financial aid is being paid in advance to help the weavers who are facing problems during the pandemic. I launched Nanthana Nestam on December 21, my birthday last year, and thought of releasing the aid for the second time on the same day. But seeing the problems and losses suffered by handloom weavers during the COVID-19 crisis, we decided to advance the release of the aid, he explained. Jagan said during the COVID-19 crisis, markets across the country did not open and there was no transport. Further, the cost of raw materials has increased and weavers have to struggle against the new emerging technologies, he pointed out. A ring of fire solar eclipse to be visible in north coastal Andhra Pradesh. The solar eclipse, the first one this year, will be partially visible in north coastal Andhra Pradesh. The solar eclipse, known as Ring of Fire, will be first fully visible in Dwarka and Dehradun, and also in Haryana and Rajasthan, where the final moments of the eclipse last for 24 seconds. It will be partially visible in all other places of the country. Apart from India, the eclipse will also be visible in Pakistan, Sri Lanka, North Australia, Africa, and other countries. The partial phase of the eclipse begins at 9:16 am and ends at 3:04 pm. The annular phase starts at 10:19 am and ends at 2:02 pm. Meanwhile, sky gazers are gearing up to watch the celestial spectacle. For the enthusiasts, the Meteorology Department came up with bad news as it forecast light to moderate rainfall in several parts of north coastal Andhra Pradesh and some parts of south coastal Andhra Pradesh and Rayalaseema on Sunday. Permission must for ferrying passengers in COVID-19 containment zones, Deputy Transport Commissioner. A team of motor vehicle inspectors (MVIs) on Saturday conducted an enforcement drive on MG Road to verify vehicle records and filed cases against a few of them for violating the COVID-19 norms while ferrying passengers. Deputy Transport Commissioner DTC S. Venkateshwara Rao warned the auto rickshaw and maxi cab drivers of seizing their vehicles if they did not adhere to the norms. As announced by Collector AMD Imtiaz, the DTC said the drivers should take necessary permission from the district administration and the police while ferrying passengers, especially in raid and containment zones. As per the guidelines issued by Ministry of Home Affairs MOHA, wearing a mask is mandatory for all passengers traveling in any vehicle. 5 persons, including the taxi driver, are allowed to travel in maxi cabs, and 4 passengers, including the driver, is in case of cabs. 3 persons, including the driver, are allowed in an auto rickshaw, while 2 can travel on a two-wheeler, he informed. "4,776 COVID-19 cases recorded in 20 days after unlock began in Andhra Pradesh. After lockdown curbs were eased as part of Unlock 1.0 in June, there has been a spurt in the number of COVID-19 cases at an average of 238 a day. The Health Department, in a release, said the increase in new cases is mainly because of the interstate movement of people. Further, over 5,600 non-residents from different parts of the world returned to Andhra Pradesh under Vande Bharat mission. In Lockdown 1.0, 2.0 and 3.0, the number of cases per day is 25, 63 and 55 respectively. However, migrant workers movement picked up in Lockdown 4.0 and an average of 89 cases were reported a day, which rose further during Unlock 1.0. The state recorded 491 fresh cases, which is the highest single-day spike till now, taking the total corona count past the 8,000 mark. The number of cases now stands at 8,452. 5 deaths were also reported, taking the toll to 101. 4,111 patients were discharged from COVID-19 hospitals in the state, including 859 from those who returned from other states and 49 among foreign returnees. In the last 24 hours, 138 patients were discharged. The total number of active cases in the state as on Saturday is 4,240, including 647 from other states and 277 from other countries. Nine nabbed for selling fake seeds in 2 districts. Bhupalpally police have arrested a 3-member gang for supplying spurious cotton seeds in the district on Saturday. It is being reported that around 5 quintals of cotton seeds and 10 lakh cash was seized from them. The accused have been identified as Karnati Krishna Reddy, a resident of Govindine village, Mari Ranidhi Reddy from Hanamkonda, and Nagi Reddy Sampath, a resident of Gangaram village of Pedepalli district. The accused were produced before media. Superintendent of Police SP Sangram Singh Patil said that the main accused, Karnati Krishna, was involved in selling spurious cotton seeds from last 15 years and was working in Andhra Pradesh. He expanded his business with the help of Mari Reddy in Telangana and has been actively working with him. The SP revealed that the gang was planning to sell spurious seeds in Sironcha village of Maharashtra with the help of their third member, Nagi Reddy Sampath. Telangana employment rate higher than national average. Telangana's employment grew at 7.2% compared to the national average of 4.59%, which translates to 50% more in employment than rest of the states in the country, said the Information Technology, Electronics and Communication Department's annual report for year 2019-20. The report said state's share of exports grew from 10.61% in 2018-19 to 11.58% in 2019-2020. The overall share of Telangana in the Indian export growth for 2019-20 is 23.53%. This apart, as the state had already announced earlier, its IT exports has grown at an unprecedented rate of 17.93% compared to the national average of 8.09%. During release, IT and Industries Minister K.T. Rama Rao said, despite the slowdown of activities due to COVID pandemic, Telangana's IT and IT's export grew at a rate of 17.93%. Make TSAT available to every student, says K.T. Rama Rao. The state-owned TSAT TV channel is being strengthened by the government to provide quality educational content for students who cannot pursue online classes amid COVID-19 pandemic. IT Minister KT Rama Rao, who held a meeting with TSAT member team, directed them to work in coordination with the Education Department and create edutainment content for students. The TSAT channel should be made available to every student in Telangana, he said, and added that the channel must try to secure the top position in India as one of the best content providers. In comparison to other satellite broadcast channels, TSAT has much better viewership and subscriptions. For instance, on YouTube, TSAT has viewed 5.04 crore times and it has 3.89 lakh subscriptions. Government to hire 67 lab technicians and scientists. After the state government's decision to conduct around 50,000 COVID tests, the health department has decided to hire the services of lab technicians and scientists. The finance department has recorded permission to hire 82 various people like lab technicians, scientists on an outsourcing basis for COVID tests. They will be hired for a period of 6 months. The outsourcing staff to be engaged by the government include 32 lab technicians, 35 scientists, and 15 data entry operators for OMC, Gandhi Medical College, Institute of Preventive Medicine, IPM, NIMS, Fever Hospital, and Kakatiya Medical College. With this, we conclude with our today's news headlines. For more such latest news and updates, like, share, and subscribe Pie and Times.